Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. There is a false narrative that has existed for a long time that the reason we have these 4-year crypto cycles is because of the Bitcoin halving. Now, I insist that that is bogus nonsense. Yes, there's a correlation, but is there actual causation? Well, just use your brain. It doesn't make any sense. Almost 100% of Bitcoin has already been mined. And so when you cut that already small amount in half again after each halving, then the small amount is, yeah, it's cut in half, but it's materially not that different. And if you take a look at where actual flows are coming from and where Bitcoin's actually being purchased, it's the stuff that already exists. So the narrative's bogus nonsense. Let's not buy into that because that's stupid, S-T-O-O-P-I-D, stupid. But what is driving it? Well, it's global liquidity. And so if you want to see the 4-year cycle play out here and you want to see Bitcoin go even higher, hit another new all-time high, and you want to see an alt season, of which XRP most certainly would be a part in my estimation anyway, if you want that to happen, then one of the things that you should be watching and you should want to occur is to see just an increase in global liquidity. I'm going to share with you perspectives some from a couple financial professionals who highlight, yes, that is happening, and they've charted what has happened and that actual correlation. And so as it turns out, this is all occurring just in time because it's the fuel that XRP needs, additional liquidity. It's one more thing. And we know that we should anticipate that Q4 is going to be fantastic. I've been citing a ton of reasons just on historical data as to why that is indeed the case. But increase in liquidity, yeah, we want that. So it could be happening at just the right time for XRP to rocket to the upside. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So let me share with you several XRP-specific things before getting into the broader conversation about liquidity, which absolutely will specifically impact XRP. I mean, certainly the entire crypto asset class and beyond, but yeah, XRP is a part of that, and this is an XRP-centric YouTube channel, and I'm willing to bet that a lot of you out there listening hold it as either your largest holding or, even if not that, one of your holdings that you find to be of consequence for yourself. A notable amount, perhaps, right? And I look, we're on the same team here. I get it. I'm willing to bet that the vast majority of you are sufficiently researched, even though the typical lemming retail speculator doesn't know a damn thing about the stuff that they're buying, the magic internet money. I'm willing to bet that you're well versed on this, relatively speaking, unless you're brand new, in which case, welcome to the party. But utility matters. I'm willing to bet that we believe that utility matters. Ultimately, and I firmly believe that's why XRP has remained in the top 10 coins by market cap for its entire existence, frankly, here. But I shared this post 5 days ago. This is from chart analyst Dr. Magic, XRP USD chart, and he wrote, imagine fading XRP when the whole market breaks out. Monthly chart not TA added, just RSI and volatility indicator at the bottom. So you've got the XRP price up top, and then as he cited here, relative strength index followed by volatility. And what do we know, especially about volatility on the bottom here? When it hits rock bottom like this, that is what precedes massive moves. If you just use your eyeballs, you don't even have to have 2 good eyeballs. If you've got just one, you can look right here where I'm circling in my mouse. See how low this got? And it could be bad, it could be boring. You might feel that leading up to that point, right? XRP's not doing anything. Poke it with a stick, get that bitch moving, right? But you see, these are the moments preceding massive moves. And in an environment like this, I would expect the massive move to be to the upside. But anyway, that was reposted yesterday by Dr. Magic himself. And he said, good chances next month RSI breaks out. The party starts above 70 cents. When the domino effect starts, it will remind you why it's a top 7 coin. Top 5 if you exclude USDT and USDC, while going sideways for 7 years. I agree with that. That is exactly in line with so much of what I've been screaming for the longest time to anybody who will listen. It's true. If XRP is such a failure, then why has it always been in the top 10 coins by market cap? Because there are only 3 coins for which that is true out of over 20,000 coins in existence. The 3, that would be Bitcoin, ETH, and XRP. That's it. Nothing else out of tens of thousands of coins. This is the world screaming, the whole world of speculators. Now we think it makes sense. So in an environment where global liquidity increases and money flows into the entire crypto asset class, are you seriously going to tell me with a straight face XRP doesn't have a shot of moving to the upside precipitously? I mean, come on. And I've made this point before. I mean, and by the way, as far as USDT and USDC, yeah, it's true. If you take them out, XRP is number 5 out of tens of thousands of coins. Number 5 in market cap. And I don't think that it's useful to have USDT and USDC just put in there in terms of measuring market cap with all the real cryptocurrencies out there, because they're such a different animal. It's useless to throw that in there. Like, imagine, like, that's their platform, like Live Coin Watch, Coin Market Cap, they can do whatever they want. They could throw random assets in, they could put gold up in that bitch if they want to. I think that'd be obviously not going to do that. I'm just making a point here. Like, gold would be such a different animal, we'd all agree that doesn't make sense to be in there, right? Well, I'm arguing that stable coins, USDT and USDC, it doesn't make sense to list them there, not by default anyway, because you're not checking Live Coin Watch to see if Tether or USDC is still $1. Are you? No, you are not. Maybe don't have, if you want them in there and listed, fine, but maybe not by default at least. It's not useful, and they're so different. It's a different animal. Why are you throwing that? Anyway, I could bitch about that for much longer than this, so I'll just make myself stop, because it really burns my biscuit, son. But anyway, I reposted that from Dr. Magic, and I wrote, XRP, think about it. Despite a bogus multi-year SEC attack, despite nearly 7 years of price consolidation in an increasingly narrow range, XRP continues to be a top 10 coin. It's in the top 5 if you don't count stable coins. Shouldn't that be interesting to more people? Well, it's interesting to me, it's interesting to you, but most people aren't even paying attention. But they gonna find out. I will tell you this. When XRP takes off, everybody under the sun will be hyper-focused on it, and they don't want it right now while it's as cheap as it is, but when it's worth way more, people feel validated, it's safe, and they will start putting their money in, because that's how typical lemming retail investors invest. That's what they do, regardless of the asset. We also have this post from chart analyst Cryptolica, and he says, 2017 XRP year, and he's got a little number 1 medallion here, emoji. And then 2025 XRP year, and then the same thing, a little number 1 medallion here. And it's an XRP NVIDIA chart, which may not initially make sense, but the reason that he's pricing XRP against NVIDIA, even though NVIDIA is a company and not a cryptocurrency, is because it's a tech stock, and certainly it's been in blast-off mode recently, as I'm sure many of you are aware. But, the crypto asset class, it actually trades most closely to tech stocks. It follows very, very, very closely. So I understand why it would make sense to price XRP against specifically that. Because NVIDIA, it's part of the NASDAQ 100, obviously. I mean, it's a tech stock, right? And so look at 2017. You can see exactly what happened. XRP was falling against NVIDIA, falling and falling and falling, until it suddenly wasn't, and it rocketed to the upside. And then it fell just as it did before the 2017 run, and it fell and fell and fell and fell against it. And here we are again, right at this moment. And so he's anticipating a major breakout against that. And so it might sound a little weird to price XRP against a, in this case, a publicly traded company, but not as much if you think about it, because again, crypto trades, and XRP is a crypto, trades like a tech stock. There is that similarity there. There's this post from chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto. XRP is looking like a time bomb waiting to explode. This cycle will be interesting. Yeah, we're going to be proven right by the end of the cycle. That's what I believe, most certainly. And then there is this post from chart analyst Crypto Michael. He said, XRP 7-year breakout imminent. Are you ready? And he shared one of his posts from July 16th, where he wrote in part, in all my years of trading crypto, I have never seen a 7-year long bull pennant. Yeah, I'm not aware of any others either. Now, of course, with it being more of a nascent asset class at just 15 years old, that's part of the reason. But still, my God, this thing is consolidating like a mofo. Look at this. But it can't and won't stay here forever. It's going to break, and I'm willing to bet it will break before it reaches the apex of that symmetrical triangle, because that's what happens, almost always. Then there's this post from chart analyst Mustache. This is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin and ETH, so the rest of the altcoins. And he says, I think from this moment on, you have at least 4 to 6 months to change your life. After that, you have to wait a long time. cycles always repeat themselves in one way or another. 2020 versus 2024. Yeah, so I do believe that, as long as we're going to have an actual alt season year, which is what I'm anticipating, that's my for fun guess. If that's the case, time will be limited when this thing starts going. So I don't know for sure if that means it's blast off mode in the fourth quarter. I don't know if that means it's early 2025, although at this point that's what most analysts seem to think. There are some that think it goes way further into 2025. I don't know. I'm not getting into the prediction game in terms of when the thing goes. I'm just anticipating that it's going to, because there's historic precedent for this. There's reason to think that this makes sense. And so that means that once this goes, we won't have that much time to do what it is we want to do. And at that point, people are going to be screaming, because it'll be euphoria. It's just going to keep going up and up and up and up. But it won't. Let me assure you, it will not. So if you have life-changing wealth, you do whatever you want with it. If you have that life-changing wealth on paper, those unrealized profits, I'm telling you, for me, I'm going to take them. I'm not going to worry about timing the top of the market. I don't give a damn. If it's significant to me, I'm going to make that a real thing. And it will go directly into my checking account. And then I'll choose, how to best utilize this newfound wealth via investment at some point, hopefully sooner than later after that. After making sure I've got all the tax implications under control and all that, because I'm in the United States and there's going to be long-term capital gains tax for me. And the reason it's long-term is because I do hold. So almost everything that I hold, I've already hit that 1 year mark. There's stuff I bought inside of last year, of course, and I've talked about that. But that's another good reason to hodl rather than getting in and out of positions, if you're in the United States at least. And here's Nick Crypto Crusader kind of shared a pretty similar message here. He said, no matter what you see and or hear, the only goal you should have in your mind is selling/taking profits in the next 3 to 6 months. Alt season is the last portion of the cycle, and it doesn't last long. Don't get trapped bag holding, waiting for higher. And so you guys make your own decisions, folks. Do whatever you think makes sense. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do. You know what's best for you. I do not. But just consider that this might be the case. And I would just say, if you do have an amount that is life-changing to you, if you get greedy and think, well, I'm just going to hold it longer, sometimes those are famous last words. And then, yes, I understand that you can beat yourself up on the flip side if you sell and it goes way higher, but it doesn't make sense. Think about it like this. If you play the lottery and you don't pick the right winning numbers, are you going to beat yourself up for that? No, because you can't know what the winning lottery numbers are until they're picked. And similarly, when crypto, whatever profit you're in, you can't know for sure if you're close to the tippy top or it's going to double or triple or quadruple or so on and so forth. You don't know. And what frequently happens is, a lot of times by the time you're like, whoa, this is amazing, you are close to the top and then it reverts to the downside and then you're screwed for several years. And so if you're at a point where it is life-changing wealth, you can wreck yourself that way. So just food for thought. You do whatever you want. I'm just sharing some thoughts with you. Okay, so check out this. We got to talk about global liquidity because this is pretty fantastic. Now, this post I actually shared with you shortly after it was published by Raoul Pal, former Goldman Sachs exec, and he's the founder of Real Vision. Real sharp guy. He's been in finance as a professional literally for decades. He shared this post on September 16th, and it shows the M2 money supply. So we're talking global liquidity here with a 10-week lead time, and he's showing that Bitcoin tracks it. And so the reason that he's got a 10-week lead time on this is because once you have that increase in global liquidity, it takes a while for it to flow throughout the entire economy, effectively, including crypto, in terms of investing. But if you shift it 10 weeks, you can see that it just correlates. It just does. And that's what you're seeing on your screen going back to December of 2023. Now, a lot of people asked for a longer form version of this exact chart, like going back towards as close to the beginning time as they possibly could do. They did that. And so here it is. So again, it's not 4-year cycles that are causing what we've been seeing cyclically in the world of crypto. It just isn't. It doesn't make sense, doesn't compute. This does, though. As more money is available, people have to allocate it. And what happens is there's more money. People go further out the risk curve. They buy smaller cap stocks. They buy small cap cryptos and mid caps. But here's the thing, like this asset class is so damn new that anything that's not Bitcoin is just considered it might as well just be equivalent to like a small cap stock in terms of the way it's treated. Like, let's be real. If it's not Bitcoin, whether it's XRP or ETH or whatever, it's treated like in the minds of the investors as though it's a small cap stock and more risky. So the point is, when you go further out the risk curve, that's when more money flows into stuff typically outside of Bitcoin. And I'm not saying there can't be outliers, but broadly speaking, that's kind of how they're treated. So as liquidity increases, and here you see GMI total liquidity index in billions, you can see that the pink line here, that's the price of Bitcoin going back to 2014. And then that's mapped right on top of the of global liquidity, the total liquidity index. That is what is on your screen right here. Yeah, it fits. Do you see the correlation here, right? So why is that important to us right now? Well, like I said at the outset of the video, if these finance professionals are indeed correct, and there's data to indicate that, at least historically, this has been the case, then we're seeing an increase in liquidity for multiple reasons, actually, that's coming just in the time where XRP needs it most and where we would expect there to ultimately be an alt season. That's why this is exciting. That's why this matters if you're an XRP holder. So there is this post from Julian Biddle, CFA. He's the head of macro research at Global Macro Investor, GMI. And so he's working with Rob Paul. And here you have, it's the chart going, this one goes back to 2013, you can see. GMI Total Liquidity Index, that's the line in black, and then you got Bitcoin in pink. And here is what he said. As you may know, we've been expecting global M2 to break higher. Well, that's now happened. We've also been keeping a close watch on our GMI Weekly Global Liquidity Index, which focuses on public liquidity, specifically central bank balance sheets in net liquidity terms. That's also breaking higher. The breakout in both our public and private liquidity composites has pushed our GMI Total Liquidity Index into a breakout too. And if our hypothesis around the everything code is correct, this is still going much, much higher. Historically, these breakouts have been great news for Bitcoin. And we usually see Bitcoin respond almost immediately. And folks, even if you don't care, I gotta pause here. Even if you don't care about Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you hold Bitcoin or don't hold it, you don't like it, whatever. This money, when Bitcoin runs, my God, the more money flows in, the better. Because then people are gonna take profit and they're gonna recycle that profit into all the other coins that haven't run. Starting with ETH, going down the rest of the large caps, mid caps, small caps. There you go. Rinse and repeat. That's how humans keep behaving. So we want this. I'm happy if Bitcoin leads the way. I don't give a damn. I think XRP is going to substantially outperform Bitcoin if we're going to have a proper alt season. That's my guess. So again, he said, historically, these breakouts have been great news for Bitcoin, and we usually see Bitcoin respond almost immediately. I'd also argue that if it weren't for the black swan event of COVID, Bitcoin would have just kept on climbing. I believe we're closing in on the last chance saloon to go long before the banana zone really kicks in. Of course, the banana zone, I'm sure you can infer what they're talking about just by the silly name of it. It's when it's alt season. It's when it's the euphoria stage of the crypto market, when everybody is like, that's a coin, take my money, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is. And then he says, Q4 looks like the perfect storm to me in a positive sense. Let's see how it all plays out, but after 6 months of sideways chop, I'm feeling incredibly optimistic. Just your midweek dose of crypto hopium. Well, I will take it. I'll breathe that sweet, sweet copium right into my mouth. But look, just again, calling upon actual data, it's reasonable to suppose that it is highly probable that we're going to be seeing some serious fireworks. Fine, we've been consolidating. People are tired of it. I'm ready to get the show on the road too. Whatever it takes, so I'm just going to keep being patient. But I prefer it, yeah. But this is going to be, I think, look, XRP, it is so perfectly positioned. It's been so beaten down for so long. I think it's undervalued. If this thing's actually going to go and we're going to have an alt season, I think XRP is going to be a surprise hit in the minds of a lot of people. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.